Hola!
Espanolo!
We're back at Jerez again for the annual shindig.
Dressed like fancy 90s men.
So we've got 3 days here at this beautiful circuit, and we've got two of the mightiest, finest bikes in the world. So as we go from budget bikes to
dizzy heights. Now sit back, relax, get the tissues out, because this is going to be good. Before mounting these Italian stallions, we have to swap the OE road rubber for some sticky icky slicks that are more fitting for Jerez and hardcore track spankage. And like most of the paddock these days, the Bridgestone VO2s was the rubber of choice.
oh, look at this. Sunshine, GP track, and one of the best track-focused superbikes you can buy. I love this new dash, look at it. Well, I say new for 2017. 1059.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Jerez in southern Spain, probably one of the best European circuits. Beautiful facilities, beautiful track, and I brought with me today a beautiful bike. It's the new Panigale V4 S, and this thing is, let's just a quick shout out to my old bike. This thing is the new all singing, all dancing, highly anticipated, very well received Ducati Panigale. Now let's take it for a few laps. Okay, up to temp. Race mode enabled. Stall it. The clutch is very bitey, like ridiculously bitey in fact. So this is the second day. Yesterday was just about getting used to the bikes, getting used to the track, and it's certainly an experience riding this 215 brake horsepower at the crank motorcycle around this beautiful place.
Well, this is cozy, isn't it?
It's very cozy, but
so natural. It just feels so natural being huddled together between two naughty
muscular men.
V4s. Well,
right, mate. This track, these bikes, this weather.
3 days of open pit lane with two, you know, let's forget the HP4, because you've had HP4 race in your head for a long time, haven't you?
Yeah, I do.
You just come straight from Aprilia on the best bike ever built. So let's just forget that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, where should we start then?
So this update, the 2017/18, because this is a 2018 bike, but it's the same as 2017, the RF, that update was the best update since the APRC came in. It made it racier, it made it even better on track. There's more grip, it was faster. Aprilia said it was 1 second a lap faster, and they were bang on pretty much. Every time I've ridden it, it's been a second a lap wherever you go. So it was really interesting to see, to bring this bike here with the new kid on the block.
Yeah, and this is the new kid on the block.
It's very fresh, isn't it?
It's box fresh,
Yeah.
and it's packing some big guns.
Yeah, yeah, big balls.
Yeah, mainly four in them aligned in a V.
Yeah, it's the Buster Gonad of the motorcycling world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although it's still, everyone's, oh, Ducati, it's a twin thing. Like, forget it. This bike is so much better
Yeah.
than the twin.
Oh God, it's
setup.
massive. It's
Like you can actually ride it to a limit now. I mean, it's still wild, still absolutely head-shaking wild, but it's got that bit of composure now, and you can understand it. And I mean, amazingly, we both of us have been back and forth this whole time, going, "Oh, I prefer this one now. Oh no, I like this one," and they're totally different to ride, as you said in the pits earlier. This moves around so much, and if you fight it, you're not going to get on with it, are you?
No.
You've got to let it do its thing and just.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. There's the weight transfer. You know, no matter what you do to the suspension, it's still going to move around. It's still going to throw some shapes. It's still going to slap a little bit. Nothing like the 1299.
No.
It's nothing. It's nowhere near as violent as the 1299 or the 1199R. But it's still, you know, you're riding it.
Yeah, and I mean, standout is just how goddamn fast it is.
Oh my God.
The power of it is, it just smashes so much stuff out the water.
This is fast. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's a 200. This is the most powerful Euro 4 superbike up until this point. But of course, it's cheaty, another 100cc. But this is a fast bike. Whoever was on that was getting munched on the straights, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's not just a little bit.
No, it's considerably like gone. No matter how well you came out the corner on that, you could fuck up the corner a bit on this and just shoot it out, and you'd be a good 4 or 5 bike lengths away by the time you got to the braking zone. And speaking of braking, these new calipers and that brake setup, they are mint.
Again, forgetting the HP4 race, this is another level of stopping power.
Yeah.
You know, if we break it down, so power, it absolutely munches it.
Yeah.
Brakes, it absolutely munches it.
Yeah.
You know, you take yards out of anyone on this.
Yeah.
It's the power, it's the progression.
And it's you can feel what's happening as well. And again, you just let the bike move around a bit on the brakes, and it's doing its thing.
And mid-corner, I think we both agree this is way more composed.
Yes.
It feels like there's more grip. It feels like, of course, you know, again, we spoke about earlier off camera, my boot. I've got no boot left.
No.
And that partially, well, mostly to do with the Ducati and its complete lack of ground clearance. So as you can see, I've got a brand new boot here, and this is a day and a half of riding a Ducati. Now, in isolation, they feel brilliant, but you come to a place like this with slicks, and against that, there's so much more ground clearance for the rider. But with Ducati, I'm just dragging toes everywhere, and I'm literally riding out my way, trying to get my toe as like a ballet dancer. That's what they call me, isn't it?
Ballet dancer?
Yeah. Yeah, we've got Bridgestone VO2s, which is the best rubber around, but this is fine. The Aprilia is absolutely fine. We took the Hero blobs off. There was no issues whatsoever. The Ducati, ultimately, that sets the standard and the protocol for things to come, because you can't run the corner speed in that you can of this. This is
no, but
apex.
it's not. Yeah, but it's not miles out.
No.
I mean, I still feel I had more moments, and I think this is an electronics thing.
Yes.
I had more moments on that. I had no moments on this actually the whole 3 days.
Really? Okay.
Like no, I mean a little bit of stepping out, but you're so used to the bike moving around. That's so planted. As soon as it does step out, it's like whoa, oh hang on. Whereas this is constantly going. Anyway, so you're used to it.
Yeah. But talking of electronics, again, I keep repeating myself, but just a few years ago, this was the creme de la creme. Everything about it was incredible.
Creme brulee.
Creme brulee. You know, going on to corner exit, this is, you know, you really struggle with side grip and getting on the throttle, whereas this, it just does it all for you. And I'm sorry, people who say electronics ruin everything, ride this bloody thing. It's so good.
Yeah, it's the slide control on this that the bike's allowing that rear to kick out and use the power, and it is rampant. And again, this will just gap it out of that corner, especially the bottom corner down here is gone.
I've never seen you ride like you have today. It's been a pleasure to watch, mate. It really has.
Thanks, mate. That's very nice of you.
I mean, it's hard work because I've had to keep up. I've had to really put a bit of effort in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Times are changing.
Yeah. You know, your braking is just ridiculous, and the way, I mean, it's that the way you slide that, you're leaving big black lines, and you can see the bars moving.
It's going like that.
Yeah. You're like, oh, what's he had for breakfast?
I mean, again, I hate people going on about it, but first session on this, we went out the pits. It's like one warm-up lap, then it's elbow down round turn 5. With you behind me, like, yay! It's that good.
Yeah.
This has brought it into a realm where they're usable,
Yeah.
they're not as scary as they used to be,
Yeah.
it's not as tiring as it used to be by far, and anyone will go faster on this, I think.
Oh yes, definitely.
But that, you've got to have some skills to get the most out of it, still.
Definitely. I think the electronics, the lack of grip really on the side of the tyre. I mean, you can let the brake off and just take all sorts of liberties with the front end. You know, it takes a lot of abuse to be able to spank this one down the road. But yeah, I think you have to be a racer and a really experienced rider to get the best from the bike.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's, what did you say earlier about off the throttle?
Off the throttle, yeah.
That's where that excels.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. From letting go of the brakes to peeling in. So I've got some fresh slicks on, some fresh VO2s, and 10 litres of fuel, keep it simple. Gonna do some time lapse. Well, time lapse with the best that we got because the track is busy. Yeah. I'm sweating now. We'll talk about lap times briefly. This did a 52.8.
Yeah.
And that was based on best sectors. So it wasn't the best lap time, but because it's been quite a busy open pit lane. So that did a 52.8 and that did a 53.4. So it was half a second faster. But the way it makes its time up is being more fluid. You know, you're not, that is like, oh, brake, turn in.
Yeah, you're triangulating corners, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're going deep, putting it in, picking it up, squirting it out.
Yeah.
Whereas that, you're just rolling on, braking. And you can, you know, there's not many bikes you can brake. I've been braking with my knee. I've been hard on the brakes with my knee on the floor.
Yeah.
On that.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's still there and I'm not having any moments on the front.
Mantequilla.
Yeah, well, hopefully you don't hit butter. Or burro, which was the nice
Burro.
joke you played on me in the petrol station. Thank you very much. I think you being the more pro racer, your riding style suits that better because you can lean on the front, you can just go, it's the ballsy bits, isn't it? It's on the brakes, into the corner, up to the apex.
Yeah.
This, you're cheating a bit because you're like, oh, I can be a bit of a fanny around here because I know I am so fast out of it.
Yeah.
Nothing. I mean, there's some boys racing R1s here and we're wobbling around with number plates and mirrors and lights and stuff and this is just munching it.
Yeah.
So, you know,
it's a good point actually. I got off this and I thought, right, that's a good lap time. That's a decent lap time. I got off that and I was going, it's way off.
Yeah.
Despite, I had that same Ducati thing. You get the old Panigales, you get on them and go, oh my God, I'm setting the lap record. Whereas, again, it's marginally less violent, but you still get that feeling. You still get that feeling. You can feel its heart beating almost. It's got that.
It's way more exciting.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Way more exciting.
Absolutely.
And you really are holding on. Like coming over the turn 5 onto the back straight, it's bucking and it's weaving and it's forcing you back in the seat.
You really have to, yeah.
Whereas that, you want more power, don't you? The one thing I do like more about the Aprilia is the dash.
It's nice, isn't it? Yeah.
I know this has got everyone goes, oh, got a nice dash. I don't actually like the way that's laid out, and I don't like the graphics on it. I think it's a bit, nowhere between retro and modern. It's just a bit basic. I think it's a bit basic for a luxury bike. That looks nice. Although, watching the video back, all you can see is just all the lights going continuously, like, you're going real fast.
Yeah. Woo, woo, woo!
Yeah, it's a proper disco. And this is out of all the times I've ridden it, I've enjoyed this incarnation of it the most.
Because it is much better.
Yeah.
And this is what people, you look at, it's an important thing actually. This bike to look at hasn't changed much in 10 years.
No.
And that's a big issue for a lot of people. They go, oh, RSV4 RF, APRC, blah, blah. That last 2017 update is so good. And people need to try that out.
Yeah. I mean, ergonomically riding the two bikes, we're different framed.
Yeah.
I actually felt much more at home on this.
Yeah.
And the tank lines on that,
I got sore in the thighs.
It was getting a bit sore, and it's just it just didn't really fit me that. And I thought, just the way this cockpit, I don't know, can you call it a cockpit?
Yeah.
Is laid out, braking support felt way better. That felt like I was sort of coming over the front.
It's very high, isn't it?
It's very high.
Yeah.
And one more point, I probably wouldn't bother putting the special super duper $4,000 exhaust on this. It's fine, isn't it?
200 and, what is it, another 15 horsepower?
Yeah. Okay, maybe I was.
But it would be ridiculous.
I know, but I was talking from a tonal point of view. The noise is actually still pretty good.
It's nice, yeah. It's nice. And a lot of people come up and go, oh, it's the V4, because they've only just seen the little V4 sign on it. A lot of people here haven't even noticed there's a V4 here, because it looks very similar, it sounds very similar.
Oh, it just seems to turn in so nicely. Must be that reverse crank. So easily flippable, the bike. Elbow down. Fucking fuel light. Fuck you, fuel light. For me, this is I prefer this style of bike. It's way more exciting. It feels like you're going fast. It's the daddy. As soon as you leave pit lane, you can tell this is a beast. Let's just get everything nice and warmed up. The power is just incredible. Those brakes are phenomenal. Oh. And it's exciting to ride, that's the key. The Aprilia, I don't find that exciting. It's absolutely very, very good. Thank you very much. Time for some pudding.
When you break it down and you give it a score, what score would you give each bike?
9.
I was going to say, I'd give that a 9 out of 10, and I'd give
8.5.
And I give that an 8.5. But I still think it's a better bike.
Yeah. But what are you going to buy?
I don't know. It's really tricky. I mean, like you said, it's been so close. It's way closer than I thought it was.
And they're totally different bikes.
They are so different, in every area. I mean, when you break it down on paper, the Ducati is a better bike in most areas.
Yeah.
But as a lap time and just the way this joins the dots, the Aprilia joins the dots, it's a better bike. So, it goes back to what flavour you have. And I know we mentioned it off camera, there has to be an element of road testing. I wouldn't just buy one of these bikes to just go on track.
No.
And I know we've been here for 3 days at Jerez, and I know that it's a bit one-dimensional, but there has to be a little soupçon of road in there. So for that reason, I would think about the Ducati more. But
kind of an answer is that?
This is a better track bike overall, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I enjoy that bike more.
Yeah.
I enjoy it more.
Well, look, you've got, obviously this is the S model,
Yes.
so this is 24 grand.
24 and a bit grand, yeah.
And that's about 19.9 or something.
It's a good point because Ed, who's down there, got one of these 2017 model, exactly the same,
Yeah.
for £16,500.
Brand new.
Brand new.
Mm.
So, £8,000. Is that £8,000 better than that? No way. No way. I'd still, and a lot of people would still prefer the looks, the electronics, the way it rides, the way it makes you feel, and fuck the £8,000 off.
Yeah.
It's almost irrelevant to
Yeah.
people who've got 25 grand to spend. So,
Yes, I think that is a better basis for a track bike. But all day long, I would never put up with the Aprilia dealer network.
no.
There's no one around my area for like 100 miles, and the hassles of it, I'm not interested in. So, again, I think this is a way better road bike. We've done a road test on it. It's actually quite comfortable, and you've got a lot of the things that you don't have on that. And it looks cooler. People know what a Ducati is. It's got a better tarty factor, I believe.
Oh, definitely. 100%.
And I had way more fun on it over this last couple of days. So for me, it would be the V4.
Which one?
The red one, not the red and silver one. It's a great bike. However, and this is a big but.
Yeah.
Everyone bangs on about Aprilia as being unreliable and blah, blah, blah. We've had way more niggles with this Gen 1 Ducati
Yes.
than we have with that which has been developed for 10 years, let's face it.
Yeah.
So, that is my only thing I'm doubting about. Do you wait for the next version of this? Because Ducati tend to release their first models and do a bit of road testing and fix. I mean, there's some heat shield that melted down here. The blipper stopped working between 3 and 4.
The quick shifter,
shifter, which is really annoying, but then it sort of came back to life. We have massive struggles getting the rear sprocket nut thing off.
If you've got a Ducati and you haven't got a big wheelie gun, don't bother.
Yeah.
We've already broken enough tools getting that bugger off.
Yeah. It has been a bit annoying, but it still doesn't change my decision. And that ran out of pads way quicker.
Yeah.
Day and a half we had to change the pads in that. Beer o'clock.
Beer o'clock.
Cock-a-doodle poo.
Espagnolo.
Perkins and Statham out.
Thankfully, there were no crashes over the 3 days, but we were insured on track with Bimoto's circuit cover. Check out the link below to see their extensive range of products and see how you can get hold of one of these limited edition dripping 44Ts.